Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Brewhouse Tavern. I'm Randy, and I'm here with Jeff. Hello, Jeff.
Hello.
And yeah, here in the Brewhouse Tavern, we homebrew stuff for your games. You can go to our Notion at Brewhouse Tavern. It's bit.ly/Brewhouse Tavern. And yeah, you can take anything you want from there and use it in your own games. And today we are continuing with our tool, the World Builder. So we're 3 sessions into phase one. So we've identified the origin and tone, set limits for our game, and a couple of historical events in. And yeah, so how you doing today, Jeff?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to see what we come up with next for our world. It's been an interesting world so far, and we got 3 decent historical events, and so it's interesting to see it continue to grow.
Yeah. So far we've got the Empire's Fall, the Binding Wars, and the Echo Rebellion. Empire's Fall basically was kind of the succession of emperors. They were on the 12th emperor, and it's kind of a well-known historical fact that the 13th emperor is kind of a douche, and so the 12th emperor decided to end the line of succession, and that had some consequences of kind of disrupting magic all across the world, and and also, so instead of like one kind of unified magical land, now it's kind of subdivided into 12 different realms. That led to the binding wars of the 12 houses. That's where the 12 houses started to kind of consolidate different schools of magic in various areas. And then, as you know, as tends to happen, that kind of starts to break down. And then the Echo Rebellion was people trying to kind of reunite magic, and perhaps the 13th Emperor did have a maybe unbeknownst to the rest of the world. So it's anything I missed in there, Jeff, that you want to mention?
No, I think you covered it pretty well.
All right, cool. So we're on to the fourth historical event, and we've got a roll table here, and looks like it's selected Jeff as our random player to select. So
I
sometimes
didn't
you
get
see
my
this as
dice out.
rolls. Sorry.
I said I didn't get my dice out yet.
See, well, get your dice out, and I'll explain a little bit of the process to the people. Uh, so yeah, we sometimes do this as rolls to kind of choose randomly. Sometimes we read through them all and select the ones we like best. Sometimes we decide to mix some things and say, give us a bit of 2 and a lot of 5, or something like that. So, yeah, play with it how you want. Use this as sort of a creative catalyst and make it your own. So, yeah, what do you want to do today for this project?
All right. Well, I rolled a couple dice, so we'll see out of those couple rolls how I want to go with this. So I rolled a 2 first, which is the Hollow Plague. Magic itself begins to rot. Spellcasters lose power and vanish. A new healer order rises amid fear. Interesting. 4 is the Dreaming Compact. The House of Eramor opens the Dreaming Deep to others, forging the first multi-house covenant of shared knowledge. I don't know that I love that. It dives too deep into the. I'm a little worried about dreaming.
Oh, yeah.
That's the part that worries me. So one of the things we've seen with ChatGPT and different or mostly with ChatGPT is just AI likes to talk about dreams and memories and singing and stuff, and so we've become a little leery of those things because it likes to fixate on them a little bit. So that one makes me a little scared. The other piece of it is it dives into the house specifically, which we do have information on all these houses, but we kind of pulled back from some of that a little bit. So I'm a little worried to dive into that house a little bit deeper, but that could be interesting in a way though too. But also combining the two rolls together, 4 and 2 is 6. So the shard reclamation, prospectors, mages, and thieves race to recover the lost tears of the dawn from unbound zones, reigniting conflict.
That's excellent.
Tears of the Dawn. Yeah, Tears of the Dawn was that was the result of the rain, right? If I recall correctly.
Yeah,
So
in the Emperor's Fall there was the Silver Rain or something like that, and
yeah.
the Tears of the Dawn became the lay anchors of magic, so that's how magic sort of got split up among the realms.
So apparently there's areas where it's whatever unbound zones are.
The 13th zone was the unbound zone, I think.
Could be from unbound zones. Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe just areas that don't have a lay anchor. Maybe that's
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking. Is maybe are they just areas that don't have it? I thought I just saw something in our stuff from last week that I was looking at that said something about unbound, but no, I'm not seeing it. Of course. I know that the bindings was all the whole binding stuff to binding to the lay anchors and stuff, so maybe it's referring to that. I kind of do like that last one.
it might
So let's go with it.
It might go between the Binding Wars and the Echo Rebellion.
Yeah,
Or maybe
yeah,
between
that's
the
a
wars. So people start to go after the shards and try to claim them, and then finally, once people do, then they start having wars over them.
yeah, yeah.
Historically, that may be the right location for it, but let's go with shard reclamation.
I don't think it's. Yeah, I don't think it's going to do that. I think it's going to put it after everything so far because thus far that's what it's done, right? It builds upon it. But yeah, let's see what it does. Let's see what it comes up with, and see if we like putting that somewhere other than where it wants to slot it.
So yeah, the way that the World Weaver is set up is that we choose a historical event and then we try to add some detail to it, and then we do a little bit of human intervention, kind of adjusting it to fit our taste.
So it does look like it's brought back the detail roll table, which I think we lost for a little bit on our last phase of stuff because I think it got we started interjecting details. So this is kind of good to see the detail table come back. Will you scroll back up for me for a moment? I just wanted to see the initial information on. Yeah, sorry, go back down a little bit. Right at the top of this one. Yeah, okay. The world shifts again as greed, desperation, and wonder ignite a new age of exploration and conflict. Okay, that's all it said. All right, nothing super exciting there. I thought it'd say it gave me some more information about it. All right, so I'm looking at details now, right? Let's see what we roll. All right, I rolled a 1. The shard market is born. Ooh, okay, you got my interest. Neutral Hearth Rest becomes the center of shard trade, giving rise to new merchant guilds that rival the great houses. So this is definitely post great houses in what they're trying to pull here. Becomes the center of shard trade, giving rise to new merchants. Okay, that's interesting. What else do we have out there?
So there's 12 lay
Oh.
anchors. I wonder what they're selling, right? Because those are going to be so
Right.
guarded. I'm not sure what they're selling unless there are kind of sub shards of lay anchors.
Well, I mean, I think it goes back to the this unbounded region or something. Like maybe there's all these shards or something that are being found in there. I don't know. I don't love it. I'm still not sure about this whole thing. the shard reclamation, but um, the southern exodus is kind of interesting. Just taking a quick glance at everything. Displaced by unstable magic, refugees sail south across the frozen sea, founding colonies beyond known lands. That's an interesting one to me. Huh. The false anchor is interesting too. An artificer forges a counterfeit tier, disrupting ley networks and causing a magical contagion across 3 realms.
I love that one.
That is. I like the idea of somebody like messing with the tiers.
Just gluing together shards.
Yeah, and whether maybe one of them is a piece of an actual one or something. That's interesting. Yeah, let's go with 3 as the detail on that. I want to see what it comes up with based on that. I'm still a little lost on the shard thing, but I'm trying to remember.
Maybe a good time to sort of redirect it and kind of just settle what those are.
Yeah. Oh, it's giving him a name and everything. That's nice.
So here's what I have in the summary for the Evening Sky and the Binding Wars. So the ley lines lashed out after the fall, producing 13 days of silver rain, the Evening Sky, that left behind magical shards called the Tears of the Dawn. Competing warlords
Okay.
to bind fragments of the Empire's broken magic, and the outcome was the rise of the 12 great houses, each tied to a single ley anchor. And I think I changed this. The single ley anchor was a Tear of the Dawn.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Or, yeah, I mean, like, so if the Tears of the Dawn were multiple Tears of the Dawn, is it that some maybe got destroyed in the process, and that's what remains is the 12 that remained and have been bound to arcane ley lines, or ley lines, I should say. They don't have to be arcane. And now we're talking about another idea of, well, what have they got here? False anchor. The artificer Merrick Velor, once of House Orion, forges a counterfeit tier from residual ley shards. Okay, that's interesting. So that does kind of play into what I was thinking about, like, maybe there are some shards that are less potent or something. Its activation distorts nearby ley lines, corrupting magic across 3 realms. Whole cities fall under shifting magical contagion. Illusions turned real. Ooh, I like that, even though it starts to delve into some of their thing. Emotions made manifest. There they go. And spells that unravel minds. The houses denounce Merrick, but secretly experiment with the phenomenon. Oh, you gotta love that last line there. The houses are like, yeah, that's bad. On the side here, maybe we can make our own shards. It's like,
Yeah. So I think one reason why it may be, I didn't include in the summary what our limits were, so I think that ChatGPT doesn't have our limits in here. So.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's maybe why it's doing that. But I do like this one, and I feel like so the 12 Tears of the Dawn were named after they found the 12 largest pieces of the moving ring.
Yeah.
And then, but there's still other smaller pieces. They just don't have enough power.
Right.
So yeah, so I think that shard recognition becomes a lot more interesting. You got people with these small pieces that can do some damage.
Right, trying to figure out, like, maybe it's even been some that have been passed down, because we're at this point we're talking about a significant amount of time has passed on all of this, right, since the original 70 74 73 AF. So a decent amount of time has passed, so you're talking generations at this point. So I could see, like, the major houses, having the larger shards or whatever, that they've passed down. It's the birthright of their kin and everything. but then maybe even some smaller shards that people have kind of passed down through society and tried to figure out how to use them. And no one's really been super successful until this Yahoo over here, who actually was part of a house. Apparently, I don't see him as a noble of said house, um, but connected to the house at least. What's House Orion? Let me see. Let me look up House Orion. House Orion. House Orion, the luminous spire, and an old imperial solar observatory. They are the schools of abjuration and divination. Their wards and foresight are fueled by light. Their magic fails at night or in darkness. So interesting. Divination is an interesting one to have as a part of this. So yeah, I think that's cool. I think maybe we might want to tell it. I'm curious if we asked it, if we maybe asked it what are the Tears of Dawn, what it views the Tears of Dawn as, in relationship to the houses. Even I'm not sure. Explores houses and explores houses and roads may scour the unbound zones for surviving Tears of Dawn.
So, write a summary of relationship with houses, tiers,
Yeah.
and shards.
Yes. Because I feel like I'm not quite getting that connection. Like, I feel like we're right on the edge of it, right? Of like fully understanding it.
Yeah, the ley network, long before the Empire swallowed the world's magic flowed through ley lines, invisible rulers of energy spreading beneath the land. The Empire stabilized these through anchors, colossal artifacts built around concentrated ley nodes. Okay, so the anchors are not the shards. Just
Well, oh no. See, it's doing something weird now.
when the Emperor vanished, magic glass anchors shattered, and fragment came as Tears of Dawn.
Which is not how we saw this. We saw this as something raining down and becoming tears. Let's see.
Fragments of the Empire division lay anchors reinforced still not one of the structures of these things. Okay, so shards are lesser fragments or splinters of the tears formed during the fall of fighting.
That makes sense.
So yeah, let's oh, here's a they have a table here. Let's probably what I don't want to read though.
I think the Tears of the Dawn is incorrect, but almost everything else in there seemed like it was good. I think the tears, like from our original thing, the tears were residue, like shimmering residue that was left. It says seeding the ground with fragments of shimmering residue known as the Tears of the Dawn. From those tears, power was born anew. It's like I almost see it as, I kind of almost see it as like, okay, so this rain happened, right? This silvery rain happened. It created something that ultimately was like collective, maybe a collective arcane energy, or collective, not arcane energy, but collective magic or something. And then those things, people were able to bind certain types of magic to them, and those are like it's like a big crystal, right? That somebody's bound it to, and that's like a center of magic. It essentially holds what the emperor himself used to hold together in the empire, is now fragmented into this. So the emperor maybe had all 8 schools of magic in and of himself that he held together well. But now, as a result of that, these tiers are what have bound these lay anchors of schools or something too. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. How does that jive with what you're
Yeah, that's
with what
definitely
you've?
closer to what like how I can see it.
Okay.
Like maybe the Emperor had one giant tier of the dawn,
Mm,
one giant crystalline structure
yeah.
that controlled it all, and then when he left, that thing was kind of destroyed and kind of reigned the whole thing.
Right. Maybe
Largely
that's
so.
what triggered the rain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask it to explain the Weeping Sky, see if it gives us a satisfactory answer. Otherwise, we will do our best to get it on track with our idea.
Redirect.
Weeping Sky is a just poetic atmosphere. It's the hinge moment between the Empire's collapse and the magic fracture. Age that follows, its trace happiness and tears that dawn. The 12th Emperor vanished, the Empire's ley networks shattered, the ley lines no longer anchored or harmonized, erupted into the heavens. For 13 days, the skies themselves bled solar rain, numerous droplets that burned into the earth, metal, and flesh. Yet seeded strange crystalline formations where they found these crystals that formed. Yeah, so it's so
Okay.
close,
Yeah.
but there's something just kind of off about it, right? So I think maybe what we do is take.
Well, and that's different than the other tiers of the dawn that they gave us. I like this newer thing that they're giving us.
Okay. So let's adjust it
Right? Because
here.
okay. Do we see that as? I guess we don't have to define what that looks like. Let's not define what that looks like.
Okay. Everything abdicated, thrown. The anchor erupted and splintered into, what do I say, hundreds or multiple?
Thousands?
Thousands?
Yeah. Many. A multitude.
12 large.
A plethora. What is a plethora?
What is that from?
Three Amigos? With Chevy Chase, and Martin Short, and Steve Martin. I'm sure Aaron showed you that in college.
12 large pieces and many more small splinters. 12 pieces. And perhaps
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Yeah, essentially sorcerers came in, wizards or whatever, they came in, they found these things, they bound them to the ley anchors, those became, or to the ley line, a specific, type of magic ley line, or a convergence of ley anchors. Or maybe that's more maybe it more is amplification of their own personal abilities, and that's why they, are abjuration and divination in one school and conjuration in another, or something like that. But yeah, shards are little pieces then of it, right? Little potent, but not as powerful as the large pieces, right?
Right. So it seems like the large pieces definitely are pieces of schools of magic. So one of the
Okay,
pieces you're saying, right? It has divination,
that makes sense.
for example. But
Yeah.
the
Oh,
shards are.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'm just getting. Yeah, go ahead.
But it sounds like you're saying that the shards, they can be sort of manipulated to the user. It's like a necromancer
Mm,
it's a shard, but it's an evocation shard.
oh, maybe. Maybe. No, I do like the idea. I like your idea of like the pieces themselves are what drive it. So, yeah. So yes, a shard could potentially be an evocation shard. So would a necromancer be able to utilize that? Are you thinking?
Yeah, if they're a wizard, maybe they can, kind of work that into their spell book or something.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as they don't get policed out of it from the 12 major houses, right? So you're a necromancer doing evocation, and they're like, "Hey, why are you doing that?" And they're like, "Oh, you have a shard." And so shards are coveted like that. I like that. I also like the idea, when you think about the splintering of the 12 pieces, it probably wasn't clean, right? It's not like it just shattered into 12 even house schools and stuff. So we do have some houses that have multiple schools that they support because maybe it fragmented and fractured in a space that makes sense for it to overlap a couple different types of magic.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shards, both large and small, are connected to a particular school of magic, perhaps more than one. I think that does it there. Let's see. Fragments of the original Empire's original. I'll say later. Original magical conduit, magical anchor.
Yeah. Yes, because that's what we called it up above. Yeah. Yep.
Great and stabilized by Imperial Magi. That's good. Crystalline and fusion structures condense the energy of each one from the center. Powerful regional nexus. Yep, that's fine. Each tier resonates with one or more schools of magic, granting immense localized magical control. Good. Originally 13 tiers, one was lost to Edward, remaining 13 gig. Good. Discovery of the tiers boundary and the binding lords by rival lords creating multiple great houses. Yes,
Mhm.
that seems alright. Each house is bounded by a warlord or archmage who successfully bound to Dawn. Yep. Each house's territory is centered on its light anchor. A physical site where the tier is installed stabilized. Good.
Nice.
The magical power is powerful but restricted. The magic powerful but restricted remains under bound tier. House moves and illusions fade beyond their vision. Oh,
Yes.
we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, I like that though. It makes the shards interesting too, because now you're outside of outside of a region doing evocation. You definitely stand out now because, or even, what if what if basically they hoard some of the shards, the illusion shard that they can take with them, right? It's like a portable, portable
Yeah.
gear, like a cell phone, right?
Yeah. break me off a piece of that shard. I need to. I
Yeah.
got a mission to go on.
I love this. This is so cool for a D&D campaign. Like to give your players your player goes to cast like evocation magic. You're like, wait, you're outside the limits of this house. House's evocation magic. Do you have a way to do that? What do you mean? Like, do you have a shard? Like what?
I like it. Politics. The houses form a delicate balance of power, alliances, rivalries, and trade networks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see houses trading shards even potentially for political gain. Instead of marrying people off, they're just trading shards.
Yep. The myth said the house's anchors are what keep the world's grids from collapsing entirely. Yeah, since it's a myth, it can be whatever. I don't care.
Nobody believes it.
Yeah. Definition: lesser fragments or splinters of the tears wandering along the binding wars. Oh, these are the shards. Yeah, lesser fragment. Why did we have such a problem? This is all perfect. What did we not agree with?
I didn't like the scroll up in our responses. Not there was something that it was saying about colossal artifact built around. No, yeah, maybe I just read that wrong.
And I think here
Yeah.
existed the shards, and yeah, that was the problem. So maybe we should spell that out.
Well, and it wasn't talking about the tears as like as a result of the rain, and I think we've put that all together. So I think we've stepped towards it, and it stepped towards us a little bit. So I think that might be what was going on.
Okay.
Like you said, I think it's like there, but we were just interpreting different. Maybe I was just interpreting different.
No, I think we both had the same reaction to it. So properties unstable but potent, can amplify spells, create minor lake fields. I don't know what a lake field is. Create something. Learn to understand.
All right.
Induce dangerous side effects. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. Illegal or tightly controlled by the houses, definitely.
Shards, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
New shard prospectors died or mutated from the exposure. Yes. Oh.
Love it.
That, absolutely.
I want to see mutated.
Yeah. Shard recognition ignited. Oh, sorry, reignited their importance. Adventurers, houses, guilds, race to
Yeah, what if like it's like the gold rush now, like right? It's some pocket of shards has been found and now people are rushing to it. All the houses, all the commoners who are like, look, I just want a shard so I can be of importance, and that's what the shard reclamation looks like. Maybe it was an unstable zone. So maybe it wasn't just 12 that it was shattered, or well, that's just shards that we're talking about. So it's unbound zones too. So places that aren't bound by tiers right now, they don't have a lay anchor that's been bound. So it's a section that now it's the Wild West. It's the gold rush. That's really cool.
Yeah. So I feel like this definitely is between the Empire's Fall and the Binding Wars. Like it's the catalyst for the Binding Wars. Like everybody's out there looking for these things and collecting small pieces, big pieces, and they're having wars. So it's just like immediately following the sky.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. I was thinking of it also as a possibility that as things progressed along, that it's like a second iteration of it. Like they suddenly something is discovered that there was a whole section that no one ever even found, like the West, right? Where now they've gone out to the West and they've seen, oh my gosh, there's gold everywhere in them hills, right? And now everyone's trying to rush to get out there to collect a piece of it because they know what the Tears of the Dawn do. And so if they can find a tier, or this artificer's like, look, I'll just put them all together and make my own tier. um, like that's kind of the route that I was thinking as well. So I think you could go either way with this one, honestly, because you could still put it before and say like all the zones are unbound at this point, and nobody has anything yet, and so it's the houses and the explorers and stuff that are establishing themselves, and it's the West now, like before the tiers started. So I'd be good with either one, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I think you convinced me. So like, it's the 12 major shards of Tears of the Dawn that everybody sort of like, for obvious reasons, just kind of like pays attention to at first and tries to control, and then maybe immediately following that, so from like 73 and onward, maybe still ongoing, people are still hunting these shards.
Yeah.
The prospectors, as they call them.
So do we want this though? Like, so right now we currently have three events, right? Three events, yeah. The Fall, and then the Binding Wars, and then the Echo Rebellion, where the commoners rebelled against the 12 to reclaim free magic. They failed, but the event scarred the world's ley lines, and its faith in noble power was the description we had for that. Do we want to do that prior, like the shard reclamation after that, or prior to the rebellion?
I think prior to. So like, as these
Mhm.
prospectors go out and start to collect some shards, they start to gain some power. And then
Or start,
sorry.
I would say, or start questioning the holding of that power even
Yeah.
by the 12. Like, they're like, hey, wait a second, maybe these houses who've always lorded it over us aren't really the end all be all. They don't have the godlike power that we thought they did. There are other ways to power potentially. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and they get sick of the fact that they are so weak in certain areas. And if we united magic again, I could use my evocation in Illusion Land.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like it. So I think we have to tell it we want to put this between Binding Wars, the Binding Wars and Weeping Sky, and the Echo Rebellion.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So do we need to change any of this then? Or are you
no, I think everything that's already written here is fine. I just need to tell it to move the shard reclamation.
okay? The Echo Rebellion was 322. That's a long.
Yeah, I think it would take a long time to find all these little pieces.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And
So.
obviously, not all of them have been found. And maybe
Oh yeah,
now
absolutely.
and then we find some like dust, some tiny shards.
Yeah.
Just like a landmine of evil.
But it is right. But it is like the gold rush essentially. The shard reclamation is that gold rush period, and I love that idea. I also like that our tiers are kind of almost like the god level power, right? Power structure right now.
Plus, I think there should fit in around.
Towards the end of it?
Yeah, 280.
Yeah.
It's found enough shards.
Yeah, I guess sometime.
I feel much better now. I feel like I know this lore a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. I think it jives with what we were thinking. It just wasn't quite there, and so I think we're in a better place now where we understand what it's thinking. Oh, it added some interesting stuff to some of our earlier things.
Yeah, let's read through. So, 0 AF. 12th Emperor, last of the late kings, abdicated the throne and severs his bond to the Imperial Anchor. Oh, Imperial Anchor. Yeah. A singular
Nice.
artifact that once united all ley lines. Okay, the anchor erupts, shattering into 12 great fragments and countless smelters. These fragments, almost tears in the dawn, fall across the realms, and with the silver rain up in the sky. Oh, excellent. Magic destabilizes the Empire, collapses overnight. Yep. Then the binding wars that meet the sky in the wake of the fall of the 12 tiers begin to resonate with nearby ley lines, causing storms, mutations, regions of wild magic, warlords, and surviving magi race to bind them simply to restore stability. After decades of conflict, 12 houses emerge, each bound to a tier, forming the ley anchors that define regional domains of the magic. The sky marks the afterworld of the spiritual. Then the reclamation, major tiers bound and the houses established, attention turns to countless smaller splinters and shards. Yep, scattered across the land, prospectors, builders, and scholars begin seekers leveling across fragments. Shards prove dangerously volatile, and the anchor by magic while there's more body and mind. The houses claim ownership. All recovered shards, of course, they do. Igniting force of acquisition and espionage. Oh, you found that just outside of our land? That's ours.
Yep.
The false anchor. The artificer Mayrick Velor, a house origin, attempts to forge a new tier from combined shards, creating a counterfeit anchor. When activated, it destabilizes locally where spawning outbreaks of the chaotic anchor fever. Regions where magic manifests uncontrolled and reality becomes malleable. Mayor disappears, rumored to have ascended into a mirrored realm. The house is banned, independent shard research rising underground.
Like it.
Yeah.
I don't love the mirror realm, but we'll work with that.
It's rumored, so we don't have to.
Right. Yeah, there you go. Rumored.
Widespread resentment of the house managers and the legacy of the false anchor sparked rebellion. That's exactly what we wanted.
Nice. Yep.
Yep. The unbound lands from the Lake Grid is broken and beyond repair, giving rise to unbound elves. Raw nexuses of magic accessible to all but dangerously unstable. The rebellion collapses, cultural memory of freedom lingers. The dream of unbound magic and the 13th tier resurfaces. That's great.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, the unbound lands. Before I didn't really know what to think of them. Now it feels a little bit like magic is still flowing through that area. It just has no outlet. There's no shard to it.
Or it's right. It's volatile, right?
Yeah. Okay. Unbound.
Although apparently, yeah, apparently there's wells though, where you can access it. Which is broken beyond repair.
Where the ley lines cross.
Yeah, but it's still super unstable, whatever it is. So I like that. I like all that.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a safe zone of reality, right? But then outside of that is everything else that's still like is still. So the Emperor controlled something with that Imperial anchor, and that may have been bigger than what the world is now. Like maybe the Empire itself was 10 times as large as what the houses have now, and the houses have a tenth of the Empire as it is, and then the other 9/10 of the Empire of what once was the Empire is just this jacked up, messed up world that magic has just wreaked havoc upon. And there are spots where you can access it, but it's mostly just kind of like chaos out there, right? But there are spots where you can access it, but even that's still dangerously unstable. And the rebellion tried to maybe utilize this, I guess, but it didn't go well.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. So
It also would be interesting if some of that unbound land was between houses, like between houses domains. Um, so there was a need to trade and a need to travel between with with some safety and stuff, like take shards into the unbound lands. And how do the shards work in the unbound lands? Who knows? That would all be interesting.
Yeah, it makes so it makes for some like as a setting, right? There are some big
Yeah.
games where you're playing within your own house, and you're a wizard that does his divination, or you can go to a really big game where your players are involved in big machinations of the world, trying to control these ley lines and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
magic users nerf and stuff like that. Pretty good, pretty good. And I like its summary here says when you connect with teams, it's a cycle of reputation. Every act of binding communications or shattering increased application to the plus increased failure.
Ah.
Analysis preserves stability, the stifle discovery, the
Mm.
unbalance, freedom by cataclysm, fate, 13.
Control versus chaos. I like it.
And since hope, apocalypse are both the unbroken versus
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think we want to do that now. We just want to go on to
No. Yeah.
let's go on to the next historical event. And we actually ended up with 2 historical events out of that,
We did.
which is kind of great.
And we rearranged a little bit.
So if you're one of those who's kind of anti using LLMs for your creative process, we understand you, but it just needs to be worked with. And once you kind of talk nicely to it and show it what you want, you can get where you're going. All right, so the world of the Shadowlands stands to transform. We've got our previous stuff here, and roll table. Player 3's turn. You have no player 3, Jeff.
Oh,
You give me a
that's you,
six.
chat.
Yeah. Yep.
That
So
could be you guys.
Why don't you give me a d6 and I'll do a d6 and we'll see what we got.
Sounds great.
I got a 2.
I got a 5.
So Sundered Choir. Back to music. Neutral and magic music and resonance outside any noise. Alright, and who's at 5? Sundering of Hearthrest. The neutral city is engulfed in a blaze storm after an unlicensed shard experiment began to halfway between worlds. Ooh.
Nah.
You don't like it?
We haven't. Well, we just haven't established Hearthrest. I don't know. Maybe. What is it? It makes me want to ask questions about what's a neutral city look like. Is it just like something that's outside of the domains? Is it in the Unbound? Is it not? Like, is it something that's safe in the Unbound? Is it where the Venn diagram of um, we didn't choose that.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that he came up with at one point, but
It is. It was part of our earlier.
oh, we do have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see.
Where is that's in one of the houses?
It was in the Echo Rebellion. Seraphine Paramore, a healer and mediator, used to fight
Okay.
canonized as the Stone's Mercy by House Kalen. Her descendants founded the neutral city of Hearthrest.
Okay. I stand corrected. I also see the Unbound Wells are apparently in there too.
Um,
Interesting.
So, what do you think of it now?
Okay, so it was established by the Echo Rebellion as a, like, I didn't want to fight, so I created a neutral city, pacifist city, basically. Okay, and so now this city is engulfed in a ley storm after an unlicensed shard experiment. Okay, yeah, I do like it now, and here's why: because I don't think that this unlicensed shard experiment was accidental. I think that was house driven.
Yep.
100% house driven. And because we've already talked about the house is like, no, nobody's doing any more experiments except for us. Oh,
Yeah.
look at that neutral city over there.
Yep. Nuclear disarmament.
Yeah, okay,
now.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay.
But don't worry, we'll blow up Sweden. Yeah, okay, thanks. Way to go.
So we'll include that if it gives us a detail. We'll
Yeah. Okay, I like it now. I definitely don't like 2 unless we really make choirs heresy.
That's right. Anyone who sings is beheaded.
I'd be like, it not feared as heresy, it is heresy, period.
So, Sundering of Earth rests a pivotal turning point. The moral and metaphysical center of the Shattered Realms tears apart. The last neutral ground between houses becomes something else entirely. So, how and why it happened. Here's our detail. So, again, give me a d6 roll.
Gotcha. I got a 2.
Shard Horde of Hordes. Secret shard forging. Then Hearth Rest triggers a chain reaction that consumes a city. Great House assign a new core for shard alchemy. Enforcing an autonomous inquisition. That's not bad.
Oh, so this is
I kind of
more
like
self-implosion.
Yeah. I rolled a 3, and I don't like this one at all. The mirror bloom, the false anchors, lingering resonance surfaces beneath the city. A mirror-like bloom expands through the streets, swallowing people and reflecting them back into this simulacra. Yeah. Maybe let's read through the rest of them and see if it gets to what we were thinking. But it's an unfinished rite. House Kalen's clerics and Aramor's geomancers attempt to purify the city's ley nexus using a combined ritual. But a hidden shard contaminates the rite, fracturing reality. Half of the city phases out of time. That's not too bad. I like what we had come up with a little better. Ashborn Refuge. Survivors from the Sundering discover they can survive only within fields of ash and bristly lust, forming a cursed community living inside Ornamen's hallowed realm.
Yeah.
Hearth's Rest Mage Council splits violently during an argument about unbound magic and magic created in a psychic war. Don't like that. Silent God, the lay anchored beneath Hearth Rest begins to whisper not a tear, but of something older. Its awakening pulls the city into silence and through where time ceases.
Yeah. And I don't like the fact that it has a lay anchor in that one.
Yeah, it should be unbound.
That seems weird. Yeah, I don't think it can't be one of the 12. So, yeah, I mean, if I had to choose one of these, I think that first one is the best of those. It could still fall within the idea that the house was trying to do something, but it also talks about a ley nexus, which is kind of weird. But like that at least was getting at the fact that it was 2 houses that were kind of screwing with the neutral city.
Shard experiment. What is it?
Yeah.
Is that how you see it?
Yeah.
Then, from one of the other houses.
One or two.
Not other houses, because it's not a house, right?
Yeah, of the houses, of the 12 houses. Not the 13th.
See,
No, the 13th is the good house.
Oh, really?
I have hope for the 13th house.
I only figured you in the 13th house.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see how this plays out. We'll see which one of us wins.
Unless shard experiment is actually active sabotage. No one will accept responsibility. Yeah. Someone.
Yeah, I think I like that.
Sundering hard press. I don't know why it takes 12 years, but Neutral City of
Yeah, it takes a while to sabotage.
Yeah, it's built upon the stable fringes of unbound land, stood as the last meeting ground of houses and commoners, right in a team of independent magi began studying shard resonance patterns beneath the city, and exposure lay energy consumed hard pressed overnight, tearing its foundations become physical and spectral limits. No laying ignorant existed there to restore restoration. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Wasn't exactly how I envisioned it.
Yeah. It missed some of the nuances that we were going for about like the house being responsible for it. But I'm okay with that. Yeah. Yeah.
The unlicensed shard experiment will
Oh,
not
wait,
miss.
there's a hidden truth though.
Yeah. Evidence later uncut
Okay, well.
by mail rights. House mirrors spies suggest that at least two houses secretly introduced destabilizing counter resonance shard into the experiment. Deliberate active sabotage might discredit even the research of house material. Okay.
Okay. I like it.
Officially, every house tonight.
So the neutral city was doing experimentation, and the houses were like, we're gonna make an example of them.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
See, they can't. These independent towns can't handle magic. You can't trust them.
Yeah. Look what happens. You get the Ashborn as a result of this, right? That's what makes it so good, is that we have grounded it in such realistic ideas and concepts, right? And I think that's what would connect players to it. The more I've played D&D, the more I've realized that, like, yeah, it's cool to have the fantastical and the exciting and stuff, but when you bring things in, like we made a joke in one of my games about something called global coring. There's like the elemental core, and they were like taking stuff from it, and like one person was for global coring, the other one was not, and it was like fracking kind of like thing. It was like, so we're like having like political debates about whether fracking is good or not, basically in D&D, and you're like, all right, this is fun. Like, this makes it interesting when you're an adult. When you're a teenager, probably not as much, but when you're an adult, it's an interesting conversation to be had inside of a game and explore.
Yeah. Campaign 3 of Critical Role, they have the flat Earth debate on a number of.
See, there you go.
Yeah. Pretty fun. All right. So let's see. Last one here. Officially, every house tonight's involvement. Unofficially, all games something from Hardthrust's wall. Yeah. Consequences. Rift of Hardthrust now marks a permanent rift where the city once stood, half in the waking world, half reflected in the mirror altar. Afterglow, light of spring echoes. Might cut that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Ashborn, ghost touch survivors fused with shard resonance linger at the edges of both realities. They act as seers, traders, and mourners of what was lost. Yeah, I like that though.
Right? We'll play with it. The after realm might be an interesting, like a shadow realm or something. It might be interesting to play with. I don't like echoes and the whispering echoes and stuff like that. That just gets a little memory-ish too much. But yeah.
The house has established the shard position. A secretive multinational body charged with controlling all shard research records to no single house but intrusions and influenced by brain mentality.
Mm.
Alright. To hearth rest it becomes a common phrase meaning to destroy something with power.
All right. I love it.
Amazing. Pilgrims still travel to the rift on the night of silver rain, leaving mirrored coins as offerings to soul struck souls. You know, I'm kind of coming around on this mirrored after realm. You know, having one place where that's the case isn't so bad. It's been like
I agree with you.
covered in this nonsense. Tone and Legacy, it reinforces 3 recurring truths in the Shadow Realms: neutrality, illusion, and sanctuaries are both. Magic hungers for control. When unbound, it consumes all. When bound, it corrupts its keepers. Every tree becomes another. Arthas became a mirror ruin, mirror supports itself.
Deeply poetic. And that's where we'll call it.
Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Like I said, I think I've come around on the weird world. Like maybe
At least something.
Yeah, as we get into it, maybe there's what they were experimenting with was some illusion magic. So maybe it's not really a separate realm at all. It's just that kind of half of the town is kind of like under constant illusion. Which could be a lot of fun. But yeah, I really like both these against the campaign.
Yeah.
Alright, any takeaways?
I think my biggest thought was the one that I was just said just a moment ago, where it was like grounding things in reality, some form of reality, really just brings like pops to life historical events. I feel like players and people connect with that better, to be like, oh, this is like, you know, when I said it's like the gold rush, you know, those kind of moments help me connect to this world better.
Yeah, and then when you do pop in something that's like wildly out of our context, then it's okay. It's just when everything is
Yeah.
wildly out of our context.
Right.
People cannot wrap their mind around the board. Because it's the hardest
Yeah.
thing playing once a week or once a month to keep in mind the lore of this world that only the DM knows, and players are taking a couple notes a session.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, this is good. We'll be back continuing for historical event number 6 and continuing playing out the Shattered Realms. I think we're getting closer to understanding the world well enough to maybe choose a different name.
Agreed.
About that. Come back to you next week.
Sounds great.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.